All right, you want to get started now? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. My name is Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. The first thing I'm going to do is swear everyone in. We'll have strays coming in later, so I'll end up doing this 2 or 3 times. But everyone raise your right hand. Say, I do, and we're done. Does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Everyone does. And good. Everyone knows their right from their left. All right. Most of our hearings today will either be fine assessment hearings or violation hearings. In those cases, when you hear your name, please go up to the podium. Um, the village will show you some documentation. They'll ask if you object or not. They'll present their case. You get to present yours, question their witnesses if you wish. And then I get to make a decision. That flips when we get to the fine mitigation hearings. Those people have been through a violation hearing and a fine assessment hearing. They're asking for relief, so they'll get to go first, and the village will respond. I think that's it, so please take it away, Village of Royal Palm Beach.
Thank you, sir. Amity Barnard, Assistant Village Attorney. We're starting on page 1 of the agenda. This is a status/fine assessment hearing. It's case 21-0537, 159 Cordoba Circle. Ricardo Espinosa, Maureen Carmel, and George Bennett.
Margaret Hancock, Code Enforcement Officer for Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information.
All right, you have service via posting. It obviously worked because he's standing right there. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Ricardo Espinosa.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Espinosa. All right, tell me about the case, Ms. Hancock.
Well, they needed permits for driveway pavers and for the AstroTurf is not permitted in the village. They did obtain the permits for the driveway and the fence, but they still have the AstroTurf issue in the backyard.
Okay, so it seems you're doing really well on the permitting front, but you still have some AstroTurf, and it's not a permitted thing for the village.
Correct.
It's not allowed, and there was discussion at the violation hearing about a potential code change. There is not a potential code change coming. So what the village would like to do is give him a continuance tonight. The village code very clearly says, right, he needs to remove it until such time as AstroTurf is allowed in the village. It's not currently allowed. So that's why he was finding violation at the last hearing. But we will give him additional time. So we continue it to require compliance by February 18th or appearance at the March 9th fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Okay. So they say you're fine with the driveway permit and the other permits you had?
They've already been closed, those two.
Yeah, that's fine. The only problem is the AstroTurf, and you have to get rid of it before February 18th. And if you do that, and this goes for everyone in the room, if you do something to fix whatever they've told you needs to be fixed, you need to call them and schedule an inspection so you can get credit for it. I have literally gone home from one of my hearings, and I live here in Royal Palm Beach, and I've watched people fix things that evening of the hearing, but if they don't call, they don't get credit for it. So if you pull it, call them, let them come do an inspection, you'll be fine. If you want to keep it in there, you'll get a fine, but that's up to you. So it's all good. But thank you very much for getting the permits. You did what you needed to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Next case is a fine assessment hearing at the bottom of the same page, 20-0892, 245 Ponderosa Court, Elena and Herbert Danowit.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order granting continuance. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, permit information.
Oh, different case here? Oh, yes, we do. Okay. All right. Please state your names for the records.
Herbert Danowit.
Thank you very much.
And Special Magistrate, before did you read yours in the record?
I did.
The exhibits that Linda just handed you, that's the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Can you review those? They're the same as last hearing, and let me know if you have any objection, with the exception of the previous order granting continuance. Any objection to those documents, sir?
No.
Thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
admitted without objection. You have a signed green card, so you have service.
Okay.
So,
So I checked with planning and zoning, Christine, and they were here on the October 18th hearing, and they were told to get their stuff in and have compliance by 12/6. They had all of their stuff in, and they were going to be able, if we had a meeting in November, to make the TRC meeting in November.
but you did.
But because of Veterans Day and Thanksgiving, those both falling on a Thursday, TRC was not held. So they didn't make the meeting, but it was to no fault of their own.
Okay,
So we're actually asking for a further compliance date.
They're on the agenda for TSR for tomorrow. They'll move forward from there based on speaking with planning and zoning and other departments today. So we're asking for continuance to require compliance by 2/18.
2/18 again, 3/9/25.
Yeah, that means they'll track the P&Z in January and council in February. The February meeting is on the 17th, so this gives them till the day after to comply. If they don't get the variance, they'll need to take it down the next day to comply.
Okay.
So that's
So-
comply by 2/18 or the 3/9 fine assessment hearing if necessary, or $25 a day fine.
Good luck at your hearing.
Thank you.
All right. Hopefully we won't see you again. You too. All right.
Next case is 21-0490 on page 2, second one down, 148 Waterway Road, Stuart H. and Tina Titley.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, permit information.
Can you state your names for the record, please?
Stuart and Tina Titley.
Thank you very much.
Those documents I just handed you are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is the permit information. Do you have any objections to those documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right. So, all right, they're here. So I don't see the service here, but they must get inserted somehow because they're standing there. All right,
Yes.
so they have a tiki hut and structure without a permit. I didn't see anything for 2021 on the permit page, did I? Or did I miss it?
Right. I believe he emailed Dina the copy of the Seminole card that shows that they don't need a permit when it's permitted when the Seminoles install it. That's by Florida state statute.
Correct,
However, it does have to meet setbacks,
right?
and
Yeah.
it's in the setbacks. So once you are going to install a tiki, you still mark that on your survey, and that comes into our office. We don't actually permit it, but it goes into your file as it's been approved for zoning setbacks and everything else.
So that shows the location of where it is or where it needs to be.
Where it needs to be, yes.
Well, you would put the location of where it is. Every area has setbacks based on the zoning district.
Yep.
I believe in your district, you have a 10-foot side setback.
Okay.
So you'd have to be 10 feet off your side property line.
Is it 10 feet from the rear also?
We'll check that. Planning and zoning
Yeah.
will help you with that. You'll just depict where it is, and then the planning and zoning staff will review it to make sure that it meets the setbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, setbacks from the rear
So I
sometimes.
bring in my survey with the proposed location.
Yes.
That's right.
And if it meets the criteria, then I'm good to go.
That's right.
And submit that Seminole card with your survey, the one that you
I'm
sent.
sorry,
The Seminole letter that you have.
right,
Submit
that's
that
already
also.
that's already been sent in, but I can
But
provide a
that
copy of that.
that was sent to code enforcement. You're going to planning and zoning now. You're going
Okay.
through a different process. So submit that with your
Okay.
with
So
their
what they'll
plans.
do is they'll actually take that with your survey and they'll upload that all into a file so that everybody knows that that was built. It's a cheeky hut and it's allowed to be there.
All
So,
right, if I can just clarify, so I provide to the planning and zoning the site map showing where I propose the chicky to go.
That's correct.
And then I get an okay or not, and it
Right.
goes into the file, and then I conform by just putting it where I say I'm going to put it.
That's correct.
Okay.
If they tell you no, that it's too tall and it needs to be moved a little bit more, you can adjust that survey
Oh.
to do that,
That sound
but
really
it does have to do that.
Okay. And when do they have to do this? Is this another 218?
Well, this is actually a fine assessment hearing,
Okay.
but he sent Dina the card and Dina was out, so,
We'll just continue it to the next hearing.
so,
Okay.
we'll continue it to, that would be the
The one something.
12/30 date or the 1/12/22 hearing. So that gives you,
Till the end of December to get it done.
yeah,
For compliance
Are we
by,
changing the language of the reason that I'm here, because now we have now satisfied so far what the reason I'm here, which was not having a permit. So
Mhm.
now we're changing the reason I'm here from not having a permit to setbacks. That's different.
well,
This
no,
is
it's,
the first discussion that I've had with anybody regarding setbacks.
so you were already found in violation by the magistrate at the previous hearing for failure to have
That's
a permit.
correct.
You
So
still
then
have,
I provided the proof of non-violation.
Now, you've provided the proof that the construction was done by the Seminole tribe, which keeps you from dealing with a building permit, but that does not
Correct.
excuse you from putting it in a place where there are no setbacks. So you
I
cannot,
understand that completely, but I just don't want to have to deal with the permit issue again.
you are still dealing with the permit issue. It's your definition in your mind that you're trying to change into two different parts. It is all part of the same thing.
so setbacks are part of a permit and you're required to
Okay.
meet the setbacks.
So if
So-
I meet the setback, I don't have to deal with the permit issue.
No, you've dealt with part of the permitting issue by getting the Seminole card. You also have to deal with the setbacks. These are
Okay.
not two separate items.
For the part, for the
They
permit
are
also.
both part of the same Cheeky Hut location permit.
The Seminole card keeps you from having to pay for the permit and actually getting a piece of paper.
Okay,
When
That's what it
getting
does.
engineering drawings and
All right.
things of that
all
nature.
right, I'm with it.
Okay, so you now have until the end of December, 12/30, or you will appear at the January 12th hearing and/or face a $25 a day fine if you do
Okay.
not get it done by then.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you just have to get it in and
Thank you.
talk to them.
next is 21-0472, 284 La Mancha Avenue, Vanya Hayes.
Is this same page? Where are we?
The second one from the bottom on page 2.
Okay.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information. Exhibit 4, pictures.
Is that the second one you handed me at the beginning?
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot I had a space in between.
Yeah. Can you state your name for the record, sir? And your relation to Vanya Hayes? Those documents. The exhibits that I just handed you are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. The exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 is the village's permit information. Exhibit 4 is photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to those? Thank you, sir.
All right. Admitted without objection. I don't have the photographs, so I'm just waiting till you
They're right here.
scroll through.
There they are.
Okay. So we have-
He has submitted his permit application for all the items, the gazebo, the canopy, and the sheds.
Okay.
Application didn't realize that I had to upload the document. So I went in the other day and was informed that I didn't upload the document. So that was the reason why I didn't have a permit at this time.
Okay.
And the village is willing to give him an additional time to comply, so we're asking for compliance by 128 for the 2/9 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right. get your documents in there, keep in touch with them to make sure that they're moving this along for you. You have until the end of January to get this done, January 28th.
I was informed that I paid for everything already. I'm just waiting on a review to come back.
Yeah, just keep on top of them. It's the holidays.
So it's actually in compliance once the permit prints.
So I have,
We're just waiting for that.
so in the meantime, I've moved everything off the fence line that I was told to do. So once I get the permit, what do? I need to come back and have somebody come out to verify that it's
You can just call me that you have obtained your permit. I can look it up on my computer. And once that permit is printed, you're done with code enforcement. But you would want to make sure that you get your final inspection prior to your permit expiring.
Yeah, if you look at my 10-page agenda, I have 2 or 3 pages of people who got permits but never got them closed. And that's why they're here. So you don't want to be part of that group. Okay? Thank you very much. This is 1282925 granted.
Thank you. Next, page 3, business tax receipt hearings. The first one is case 21-1016, 360 Business Parkway, Bay number 10. Antonolo and Linda Giletti.
The code section is 1618 and 169. The description is Village of Royal Palm Beach business tax receipt was expired. This violation was written on 11/3/2021. It was sent certified mail 11/5/2021 and signed for on 11/8/2021. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 is the business tax receipt information for what was Three Kings Automotive, showing they haven't had a license since 2019. And then the permit information, because they pulled a new tenant inspection as, I think it was, they've changed their name slightly. It's like, Three Kings Sports and Imports of the Palm Beaches, Inc.
Can you state your names for the record, please, all three of you?
My name is Linda Giulietti. I'm the owner of the building.
My name is Venrick Williams. I'm the shop owner.
Malik Caesar, part owner of the shop.
All right, Mr. Williams, what was your first name again? Mr.
Malik.
Williams' first name?
Malik Caesar.
No, Kenneth. I think your name is Kenneth, sir, the other gentleman.
Oh, no,
Venrick.
What is it?
Venrick Williams.
It's on his shirt.
Venrick.
Otherwise, you'd never figure it out.
So those documents that you're looking at are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 is the BTR information, and Exhibit 4 is the permit information. Do you have any objection to those documents?
Give us a moment, please.
Sure.
Take your time.
I'm not understanding this whole figure here. I would like someone to explain this to me. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. We have we're supposed to get a building, not a building inspector, but the fire department to stop by there tomorrow because of the holiday, and I gotta get in my family and all the stuff. So tomorrow the fire department will be there, and then I can schedule after him or her for the building inspector, and that's it. And whatever fine is supposed to be there, I will pick it up
Yeah.
with Mrs. Bender.
Well, you could have scheduled with the building department, but this case actually started in 2020, and because of COVID and our lack of hearings, it was dropped, and then a new case was started this year. So you've gone an entire year without, actually you've gone 16 months without taking steps until 11/9 to come in and get a permit to start your business tax receipt. So they came in on 11/9 and applied for their new tenant inspection, and that is issued over the counter. So as of tomorrow, it'll be a month, and they still haven't scheduled the inspection with us. I understand you scheduled it with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, so you did that earlier this week. Yeah.
In order to operate a business in the village of Royal Palm Beach, you have to get a business tax receipt license. It used to be called an occupational license. I have one here because I practice law out of my home here. As soon as I get my little postcard, I run down and pay them off, because if you don't, my $100 business tax receipt turns into like $300 or $500 with all the fines and penalties. They're telling me that you were started a year ago and you never really quite made it through the process, and you just started throwing paperwork out last month to do so.
Last year, when I see her, I didn't see her. She guided me to go on the internet and get everything done. I couldn't. At the end of the day, is that I called her office and I spoke to someone, and they tried to guide me also, and I couldn't come to the office itself because of the COVID. And then I told her to stop to restart again. So now I'm in the process of getting this done. So I guarantee it will done by now and next week.
Yeah, but
They
the problem
get it
is
straight away.
that you should have had this done earlier.
This was for
and then-
2020. We're now
Right.
in the cycle for 2021 and 2022. So this is an old one. The law allows us to collect administrative fines and penalties. It's been more than 150 days delinquent. So what we're asking for today is he needs to pay the business tax, he needs to obtain a license, plus the 25% penalty, plus the $250 administrative penalty, plus the $250 admin costs. So it's a total of 500, but the order will reflect the license fee plus the 25% plus an additional 500.
That's what happens. The $100 or whatever it was is turning into $600 or $700, and you should have done this last year. I mean, that's why, I get the card, I run down, and you got last year waived. This should have been another $500 or $600 last year, but
Right.
they stopped the case because of COVID. And now this is your second year in, and because you don't have a license right now, there's not much for me to do other than say that they're entitled to the BTR fee, the 25% penalty, the $250 admin, and the $250. What's the other one?
It's an additional penalty.
Additional
250 admin and
penalty.
250 penalty.
And what is the total of the fee?
It depends on the business license amount. So it'll be the license, the actual business tax license amount plus 25% plus $250 plus $250.
If it was me, it would be my $100 normal one plus $25 because that's 25% plus the $500. I don't know how much yours is because you may be a different number. So it's going to be whatever that is plus 25% plus 500. Okay? I'll grant that, and when you get the order in the mail, get the rest of your inspections done,
Will do.
and then pay this off. And when you see that card in the mail, just run down and pay it. Believe me, I actually physically run down and pay it. I've seen enough of these hearings, so I don't want to be one of you.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay? Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. And now we've got another page of these people. So
Now we're moving to page. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we're moving to top of page 4, violation hearings.
oh, we're off to violations. Okay.
Yes, 21-0510-10594 Aquarius Lane, Milagros M. Ramos Morejon.
Ready, hold on. All right. Could you tell us your name for the record, ma'am?
I'm sorry, no speak English.
Su nombre, por favor.
Milagros Morejón Ramos.
Gracias.
I'm sorry, I thought
Come
Linda
on.
had more. Code section 622-108.4 and 2657, pavers and structures without a permit. I observed this violation on 6/24/21, sent out notice of violation on 6/25/21, posted it to the property, sent notice of hearing on 10/25/21, and that's been posted as well. I'd like to notice following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, ES400 permit information. Exhibit 5, pictures.
Okay. Are you going to ask her if she objects? 'Cause
Yeah, ma'am, can you look at those documents? I'm not going to be able to convey it to her, though. Can you convey that to her, Special Magistrate?
I don't know. My
either.
translation skills are like not that great. Does anyone here speak Spanish? See? Gracias.
You speak Spanish? Can you ask her if she to look through those documents and ask her if there's any objections to the documents? Thank you.
Si puede mirar los documentos y si tiene algún, o sea, si tiene alguna pregunta sobre esos documentos o está de acuerdo con esos documentos.
Bueno, yo la verdad no los entiendo, pero yo lo que tengo que decir es que ya he mandado todo lo que me han pedido. Y bueno, estará en proceso, entonces espero que esto esté bien.
She says that she doesn't understand those documents, but she has done everything that, you know, like she has sent all the documents that she was asked to. So she just hopes that whatever it's in there, it's correct.
Okay. Well, it's just public record documents anyway.
Okay.
Could you tell her that she needs to get a permit for the pavers and the structure she built?
Special Magistrate, she has applied for them. They are in plan check. So she just needs to make sure that they go through properly, that she has all the correct documents and has paid for them and everything.
Okay. So
We're going to give her till January 28th, 2022 for appearance at the February 9th hearing or $25 fine. It sounds like for me that was in trouble.
Okay, le van a dar hasta el 28 de enero para que haga todo lo que tenga que hacer. Okay? O el,
Thank you.
okay.
o,
So
el-
she comes back February 9th.
o si puede volver el 9 de febrero. Si,
Ok.
si tiene alguna otra
Si el
pregunta.
28 no está todo, está bien. Muchas gracias.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gracias. Adiós.
Thank you.
Feliz Navidad.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias.
Thank you.
De nada.
Next is 21-0795-10576 Fascination Lane, Kenneth M. Gillespie Lustig. Are these,
Yeah.
are you all in a row?
Yes. This time. Code section is 0619A12, 622-108.4. The roof is in disrepair. Stucco work without a permit. New stucco requires a permit and the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 9/3/21. Sent out notice of violation on 9/10/21. It was signed for on 9/14/21. Sent out notice of hearing on 10/20/21, and that was returned on 10/27/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information. Exhibit 5, pictures.
Can you say your names for the record?
Kenneth Lustig.
Thank you. Thank you. Those documents I just handed to you, those are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is a notice of hearing. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership that you own the property. Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Exhibit 5 is the village's, photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to those documents?
Yes. This journey started about a year ago.
Hold on,
That's
just
not an
just for the
objection to
documents.
documents, sir. That's a response, or that's your case. But we're just on the documents.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Thank you,
Admitted
sir.
without objection. Okay, so I see the new stucco in the eave. Is that correct? Bless you. And
There's new stuff under the eaves.
On the one side, there's stucco on the gable, the tarp is covering the roof, and then pretty much the entire structure is stained and would require painted.
Okay. I see the staining, I see the tarp, I see the stucco. Now it's your turn to tell me your tale of woe.
Okay, sorry. About a year ago, we got a private adjuster, and we started to notice that our roof was leaking. Well, that's why we got the private adjuster. And it started leaking in my son's bedroom, in the front corridor, and it also leaked in the front where we had our kitchen expanded. And so we were leaking everywhere, buckets. And so we called the insurance company, and they said, do what you got to do. The stucco we had put on for $1,200 from a friend. I understand that if it's under $1,500, you don't need a permit. I don't know about that.
No.
No.
But the problem is that I had active leaks in my house, and I tried to secure my house as quick as I could. So, in the consequence, we have a deposition on the 22nd of December with the insurance company, and we're trying to get it resolved to where we can get the repairs in effect. We can't pull any permits because we don't know when this is going to be resolved. It's not in our hands, and
Well, the stucco work is in your hands.
the stucco work we did because we had active leaks in the house.
It's still something that's unrelated to the
Still
actual
pull
roof
permits,
permit that
that's
you can
fine.
pull a stucco permit, which should be easy. I will give you some more time on the roof issue just because of your litigation posture. You're in deposition, so I assume that you're in suit. You filed a lawsuit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's under litigation. We have attorneys.
Good. But that's, you still need to deal with the stucco and the painting. Those are separate issues in my mind, and then you have the roof issue, which is also something else.
The painting was planned on being the final step after we.
You're going to have to change your planning around.
I'm sorry?
You're going to have to change your planning around. You can do the paint
Okay.
without affecting your roof work at all, either way.
Okay.
So, all right. So I'm going to break this up into roof versus stucco, and then the stucco is going to be on a sort of normal time frame, and
So
the roof.
stucco and paint will
Yeah.
be, we were
Stucco
asking
and painter is going to be
128 compliance or the February 9th fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
okay, and then we're going to do a status/fine on the hearing for the roof at the same time, so we can see what happened with it.
You could just do them all together with those dates, and we'll do it status/fine, and then we can hear an update on the roof and adjust as necessary at that hearing if you're amenable to that.
That sounds good. I am much more amenable to your roof problems if you get your stucco stuff going and your painting moving along. That way you're doing what you can
Right.
in those areas
Well,
that you can control.
We pressure washed the whole house.
I know, but you still end up with that moldy looking top part. I mean, I'm probably 10 years into my paint job, and it's probably getting closer to that time just because it's starting to look chalky-ish.
Right.
So you just need to do, the stucco permit should be fairly inexpensive. Yeah,
Base fee at $75. Okay.
so it's a $75 permit. I mean, really with stucco, they come out there and they look and go, oh, it's stuccoed. I mean, quite frankly, if it's sticking, it's okay. It's either going to be lath on top of board or it's just going to be stucco on top of concrete.
Yeah.
So either way, this is not like you need electrical and structural engineering and all that other crap. So get that stuff going. So when you show back up on the 2-9 hearing, you can tell me about your roof case
Okay.
and how that's moving along and how you did all these other things that you could do so that you need more time.
Okay.
Okay? I've given you your roadmap. You're going to get an order in the mail. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Will we be mailed?
You'll be mailed a copy of the order that'll give you the dates and stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case is 21-0806, 135 Heron Parkway, Duroy and Marilyn Henderson.
Code section is 14.2, miscellaneous items. I observed this violation on 9/9/21, sent out a notice of violation on 9/10/21. It was delivered on 9/17/21. Just sent out a notice of hearing on 11/5/21. Notice signed for on 11/9/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
All right, so you already fixed it. Are we doing
Fixed
a
it.
finding of fact or no?
Yeah, just a finding of fact, but we can get the exhibits in.
All
Sir,
right,
what's your
tell
name?
us your name, sir. So it's-
Roy Henderson.
thank you, Mr. Henderson.
Those exhibits I just handed you are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is a notice of hearing. Exhibit 3 is proof of ownership. Exhibit 4 is pictures. And Exhibit 5 is the affidavit of compliance. Any objection to those documents, sir?
You're going to get something known as a finding of fact, which means you did this, but you fixed it, and you'll be a repeat violator if you do it again in 5 years. If it's more than 5 years, it sort of falls off, so just keep your stuff.
Yeah,
Cleaned up.
yesterday I didn't see the items out back on the sides or anything, so I did affidavit of compliance. If you could just continue to please keep everything cleaned up and put away.
I will.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And when I talk about an affidavit of compliance and calling the people for the inspections, this is what it actually looks like, but this says, on this date, everything was good. So that's what everyone wants who has a violation hearing. You'll get an order in the mail, sir, and
Thank you.
just keep it clean.
Thank you. Next is 21-0839-10685 Bobby Lane, Ricky D. Richardson.
Code sections 14.2910619A1, 14.4A. Miscellaneous items, fence without a permit, roof overhang in disrepair, disabled unused vehicle. I observed this violation on 9/13/21, sent out notice of violation on 9/16/21. It was returned on 9/20/21. Sent out notice of hearing on 10/20/21, and I received it on 10/26/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, picture. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
All right, ma'am, what is your name?
Deborah Richardson,
And what is your relationship to the property?
Bell.
Thank you.
And ma'am, those documents I just handed you, those are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. Exhibit 3 is proof of ownership of the property. Exhibit 4 is pictures, and Exhibit 5 is the village's permit information. Do you have any objection to those documents, ma'am?
I see no pictures.
They're on the
Pictures up
screen.
on the screen
Pictures
up
on
the
front
top.
of you,
Up
on
here.
the computer.
On the laptop, it's not on the
Right
screen.
on the screen in front of you, computer. No pictures?
Blank. Hello, hi. Anything?
Hold on.
No?
Yeah, look at the big screen, ma'am.
Okay, that's a picture of the fence there that you put up in the back portion of the property without a permit.
That section of new wooden fence before the whatever vehicle
Wooden
that is.
plastic fence there.
Got you.
Correct. I'm looking at the fence. The motorhome. Correct. But that's new. That wasn't there in the past. And now you've replaced it.
Which requires a permit if you replace more than 10% of one side of the fence, which you have. That's 50% of that side then. It's math. So you have a wooden fence that you're temporarily putting up until you get another section of PVC fence.
Because the tree fell on it and broke the fence, so we tried to fix it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's understood. That's not
Yeah.
that's not the big deal in this
Okay,
case. That's
okay.
just one of the deals
Okay,
that
so-
gets spotted when you
Okay,
have
so-
the other
so-
deals.
Okay, so regarding that back fence, the violation and
The back fence,
consequences are what?
the problem is you put up a wooden section of the fence, and it needs to be permitted if it's more than 50%,
10%.
10%
of any one side.
of any one side.
So I need a permit for the back fence.
For the
Right.
back fence.
Okay.
And if
Need
you
to
just would have
remove the
straight
missile.
up replaced it with the plastic, I don't even know if they would have noticed, but it probably would need a permit then anyway.
Yeah.
That's one problem. And then we have the miscellaneous items. Is that-
Miscellaneous items along the front of the home.
yeah, that's all this.
The picture I'm looking at now, I think this is what you're calling, weeds and stuff, this is ornamental grass.
I'm talking about
No,
the
we're talking about the
miscellaneous
things
items.
on the front of the house, in front of the garage door.
That's gone, that's gone. From the car,
That was there yesterday.
that's in under compliance, there's nothing there.
No, ma'am, you have no proof right now that that's gone. This is a picture from yesterday. So, but that's the easy one as well.
Yeah.
The hard ones are roof in disrepair and
Okay, my roof is not in disrepair.
It's not.
I understood.
It's a side. If you look in this picture here, Special Magistrate, if you look alongside the house, there's like right here, this green, that
Mhm.
green
Wait a minute,
thing
let me
right
just-
there.
let me just try to get in front of the,
That's there without a permit, and it's in disrepair. It's all disheveled, and I'm sure it's not fixed to the home or
okay,
anything
I'm not
properly.
looking at that right now, so can you hold that?
you need just to call them for an inspection because this is not your only item. If it was the only item that was a problem, I would take your picture and we could deal with it. But since
So,
you
and-
have
and
multiple
this
items,
is just a violation hearing, so you're going to get time to comply.
yeah, you
so-
can get
and you have
time to
several
fix it,
items, so
so
you'll-
it doesn't matter. But you know, if she wanted to show me that she had fixed it before the hearing, I would accept that.
I can go out tomorrow.
So that's it. All right, so that's still you're still one of 4 or 5 things here, and you have to get it inspected on all of them. They aren't talking about the ornamental stuff.
No, it's a large plastic green.
Everything needs to happen in the mic or it's not being recorded.
Ma'am, can you go back to the microphone, please?
All right, so you can call them for an inspection to show them that there's no damage right there, but I almost bet you they'll find some. So we will find out when you call them for the inspection. Let's get to the last one, is the disabled unused vehicle in the backyard.
The
Oh,
motor
happy.
home never moves. The tarp, they got a tarp for it. I cannot see a current tag. It has to display a current tag. It needs to move every 30 days. And if they're going to leave the tarp off of it, they would have to get it cleaned up a little bit because it's all mildewed and
Okay, so
unused.
is the motor home tagged?
Yes.
Okay, well, they'll see that when you call for the inspection. Is it operable? Does it move under its own power?
Ma'am, can you stand in front of the microphone? Thank you.
So you will show them that when you call for the inspection that it starts, it moves, and it can motivate under its own power.
It's covered under the manufacturer's cover that she has made me order and cover it with. Unfortunately, at this time, I would like to ask for an extension because my husband has serious health issues and I can't move it. He has to move it. He is unable.
What are his health issues? you're going to use it as an excuse, I need to know how good an excuse it is.
He needs surgery.
For,
It's private.
well, if it's private, then someone else is going to have to help you move the camper. I cannot give you an unlimited extension
Okay, you
for
want me,
unknown
let me just
reasons.
let me just get this clear, please. You want me to move the camper by when?
By the time you call for the
Move
inspection.
the camper by January 28th? Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir.
Sure, 128, 29, 25, right?
Move the camper
So,
by 28th of January.
right?
Yes.
And move the miscellaneous items, obtain your fence permit, and remove that roof structure on the side of the home there.
Or show her
There is
what's,
no roof structure on the side of the house.
The
I will call that
green-
for inspection.
The green
call her for
plastic.
inspection, but you have to call for the inspection before January 28th. And Ms. Hancock will look at whatever that is and take lots of pictures of it for the
Yes,
board.
sir.
Thank you.
It's the overhang from the roof. And then there's a piece of plastic chain hanging down.
That does not look like a piece of plastic chain to me, ma'am.
I swear to God, that's what it is.
Well, that's what we will see when you call for the inspection. Is it?
Let me
How
see
much
if I
is the
have it.
amount?
Let me see if I have it.
Pardon me?
How much is the amount? It's 128,291.
$25.
$5. Thank you. Granted.
Thank you.
So take care of those things and give her a call. You can call her 4 times if you want to do these in sequence.
Am I being fined for anything at this time?
No, ma'am.
No, not yet. You got till 128 to fix it. So go work on fixing it.
I can show you, but it is like.
It doesn't matter right now. Why don't you go show them later?
Okay, so just to make this clear before I leave, I'm sorry to take up everybody's time. Thank you for your patience. What I need is a permit for the rear fence.
Correct.
I need to call in an inspection to ensure that there is no roof damage.
Correct.
And I need to move the camper, to call an inspection and move the camper before January 28th.
And I'll need to see the tag on it
She needs to see the tag while it's moved. So
and
she
the
can-
miscellaneous items in front of the home.
And then you have the stuff that's in front of the garage door that needs to be taken care of.
It's gone.
So you have 4 things, and you've already done 1. So we'll see how well you do with the others. Okay? And you'll get an order in the mail.
One more thing, if you'll have just a little patience with me. I just wanted to double check. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, next case, please.
Next case is on page 5, second from the bottom. It's 21-0979 178 Sandpiper Avenue. Chow T. Min Nguyen.
Code section 622-105.5. Permit for the fence has expired. This was observed on 10/25/21. Notice of violation was sent out certified mail on 10/27/21. It was delivered on 10/29/21. Notice of hearing was on 11/3/21. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Sorry, can you state your names for the record, please?
Daniel
Daniel, what's your last name?
Nugent,
Thank you. And the other person?
Tony Wang.
Tony is the first name?
Correct. Smith.
Thank you. The documents I just handed to you are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4 is permit information.
Correct.
Any objection to those documents?
No, ma'am.
All right, they're saying that you got a permit for a fence in May of 2019, and it was never closed out because no one ever called in for an inspection, I assume. Am I correct?
Correct.
Correct.
And then because it was 2019, you have to pay for a new permit fee. because the permit was only good for 6 months and it's been 2 years.
Yeah. So the thing about the fence, we had a dog at one point. That's the main reason why we got the fence. Now, our our dog's gone. So what we want to do is take down the fence.
All right, what do they have to do? You have to
Okay.
do a request to administratively close the permit.
Okay.
Once
Which-
they move the fence, they
and
would have to
then-
remove the
And
fence.
you have to remove the fence before they do that, or?
Yeah, because they're saying that the work wasn't done, so if the fence
Okay,
is
so you
there.
have to remove whatever you had permitted in 2019 and then ask for an administrative revocation of the permit.
Okay. So we do that next door, correct?
You do
Yeah,
that with
right.
a nice lady over here.
Or you update the permit and get the final inspection prior to the 6 month.
You
of it
don't have to tear
expiring
anything
again.
down. If it's okay, if you're okay with the fence, you just have to pay another permit fee, get an inspection, and leave it.
Okay.
So you have two options. You can either
All right.
remove it or you can keep it. You know,
Can I translate to him real quick?
sure, go right ahead.
So a request to administratively close is $75 base fee,
That's fine.
but to renew it, it's 50% of the original permit fee.
So what's the fence permit?
It depends on what their value
Yeah.
is.
Talk to them about the cost, but it's going to be
Okay.
about the same.
Okay. No worries.
And I don't do Vietnamese. I'm only half Korean. So.
So we're asking for compliance by 128 or the 2/9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
All right. So either get the permit re-upped,
All right. But
or take down the fence section and apply for the administrative revocation before January 28th.
okay, that's the only thing.
That's
Yep.
it. Your
In this
choice.
case, yes. You got all
And
the
as
old
long as you
ones,
get
too.
this done and you make sure that they either issue a new permit or they issue the revocation before the 28th,
And
you're
I
good
have
and you won't
one
get
more
fined.
question.
Sure.
So our roof right now is preparing to be prepared. We have people that already pulled the permit.
That
Thank you,
has nothing
guys.
to do with anything. We don't care.
Okay, perfect.
Leave it
That's all I
alone.
need to know. All right, thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
totally different issues. Fences are on the ground, roofs aren't. Good. Besides, I don't want them to tell me something that create another problem.
Now we're going to page 7. Third one from the bottom, case 21-0960.
Page 7.
Excuse me, 21-0961, 12003 Poinciana Boulevard, Unit 204, Jose G. and Luz A. Vargas.
Code section is 622-105.5. Description permit number 190050 for an AC changeout is expired. This violation was mailed certified mail on 10/22/21. It was signed for and not dated. Notice of hearing was mailed out on 11/18/2021, and it was signed for on 11/22/21. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
All right, sir, what is your name?
Jose Vargas?
Thank you, Mr. Vargas.
Thank you, sir. Those exhibits that were handed to you, that's the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Do you have any objection to those documents? Just to the documents, sir. And then you can speak to the magistrate. Any objection to those papers?
Yes. Yeah, I agree with this.
Okay, you agree with the
Okay,
papers.
No
Okay.
objection to the documents, they're admitted. All right, sir, they're saying that you applied for a AC permit in 2019. Did you get the AC installed?
Yeah, the problem was that I hired somebody to put the AC, and they don't have the license. They expired the license, and they put it everything. Because the COVID coming, they had problems. I don't know, and I called them, and I called 1 month ago, and they get the pull the permit again. So I had the number. They told me that they're going to call for inspection again.
Okay, well, they
I have the permit number here.
All right, well, give
Well, it
us
needs
the
to be the
permit
same
number just for
permit.
fun.
They need to renew the same permit to rectify this issue.
They told me that they renew the same permit.
They
They
sent
haven't.
in their form. They have not paid for it. There's $43 due, so they have to pay for it to go any further. They haven't paid for it yet. 12/7. They just sent it in yesterday.
Okay, they sent it in yesterday. They didn't send in the fee. So tell them to either send in the $43 or pay the lady $43 and take it off their bill.
So I had to talk with them and they had to pay $43.
They have to pay to renew the permit. It's only $43.
But after they do that, you want to make sure that you get the final inspection. Otherwise, you're going to be back here again in 180 days.
Yeah, so
Okay.
get the permit renewed and then call for the inspection if the unit's
They
already
told
in.
me that I had to call for inspection, but if they don't pay yet. So
Yeah,
I can't
so
call.
they apply, but it doesn't count until you pay the money. So tell them to pay the money. This is the 128.
128,295. Yes, sir.
All right, so you have till the end of January, so bug them.
Okay, I talk with them.
Yeah, we'll send you an order in the mail. Tell them you need to have this all done before January and see if you can get them moved. They just have to pay the permit fee, and then it goes back to the building department, right?
Yeah, but then it has to be inspected, like Linda said. They
Yeah,
gotta
but
inspect the
you
work.
pay the permit fee, and it goes back to the building department.
Right, yeah.
So once they pay the $43, you have 6 more months to get your inspection.
Okay.
And once you get your inspection, make sure you tell code enforcement that you're done.
But he doesn't comply with
We'll
the
check
permit
it.
until it's
They'll
issued,
check it.
right, Linda?
Right. It needs to
So
be issued.
he needs to have the permit issued by January 28th, not 6
Okay.
months. He doesn't get 6 months.
Well,
allowed.
all he needs to do is pay the money, and hopefully it'll be done.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Tell them to
Very
get that
simple
$43
process.
in. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Vargas. Next, please.
Page 8, fine mitigation hearings. First one, is that what you are?
Yeah.
09-0848, 2 Greenway Village North, number 203, Dexter I. and Sally Kearse.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
2009. I want to get started here. This is going to be hefty.
Your name for the record, sir?
Dexter Curse.
Thank you. Special magistrate, the fine amount is $37,649.22. I mean, I'm sorry, $180,600.
All right.
And
What
this
was
says
that amount again? 38,000?
the fine amount is 180. I read the wrong line. The fine amount is $180,600, and it complied in October of 2012.
How did it get so much if they, from 9 to 12?
3 years, that's good.
3 years at. I mean, that's $100 a day. It's going to be 36,000 a year. Now I can see 180,000 from 2009 till now, but not till 2009 to 2012.
Can you get to the assessing fine sheet? It was accruing at $150 a day.
I don't know. I don't have the order, or do I?
You have the order assessing fine, and I'm looking at the unrecorded copy.
$150 a day.
Yes.
Okay,
So that's probably how.
that's $150 a day. Oh. All right. So, this is a question I ask everyone who's trying to get a fine reduced. Why should it be reduced? Why should the fine be reduced?
Because first of all, if the lady had come to me, she came down here, and this shouldn't have been a fine. Because if you got a toilet leak, and if it's leaking down there, by the time she come here, and I'm notified, when they notified me, I turned the water off. I went to Home Depot, I fixed it. And the lady said, "Did you fix it?" I said, "Yes." She called me. I said, I fixed it. And she said, well, it's still not going. I said, well, I fixed it. So what I did was I turned the water off in my other bathroom. I fixed both of my bathrooms. And I don't know why she kept saying, because the same lady, it was Malice, the same lady had me arrested. She had the sheriff stopping me every time I hit the door that she tried to get me fired. And I figured the same thing was coming down here. I went to jail, lost a day of work and everything from that same lady. And I figured they were picking on me too. So I just said, I told the lady, I said, yeah, it's fixed. And it was fixed. And I don't know why they fired me. If she had came to me, it would have never happened. That which you wouldn't have had the damage that she had.
Well, this is not really, I mean, this probably is a result of her complaint.
Right.
But you had a code enforcement order in 2009, August of 2009, which was one of my first hearings. I've been here for about a dozen years.
And I fixed it.
And you fixed it, but there's a part in bold here that I talked to everyone about that says, upon complying in any code enforcement matter, it is always the responsibility of the respondents to contact the code enforcement department to request a reinspection of the property. So that didn't happen for at least 3 years because you didn't get your affidavit for 3 years.
Can I come up a little bit because my hearing ain't that good? But I had, like I said, I didn't know that I had to have it inspected. But when the lady, I talked to the lady on the phone. I said it's fixed. I say if she complained, I say see if she got a leak, and it was fixed. If I was down there, I wouldn't want it to leak on me either. Why would I have a sewer leak running down there all those days?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, because it was fixed. I fixed that. The lady came up here. How much damage do you think? If she had knocked on my door and said, hey, the toilet is leaking.
Well, obviously there was a problem between you and that lady if she tried to get you fired and she tried to get you arrested.
She had the problem, and that's why I say she came down here, but I'm saying.
But your problem right now is I've got $180,600 in fines, and you're telling me you fixed it, but you can't prove when.
Huh?
Can you prove when you fixed it?
I talked to the lady on the phone. I didn't know nothing about. Like I said, I don't.
What lady on the phone did you talk to?
The lady that from code enforcement, I guess. She called me and she said, I said it's fixed. I didn't know I had to have somebody come and inspect it. Like I said, I don't bother nobody. I go to work, and that's what I was doing. I was working, and then I fixed it, and that was it. I've come up here plenty of times and talked to them. Nobody still. I never got any kind of answer without telling. I said, lady, listen, I fixed it. It was fixed the same day. I even turned my water off to go get the parts. And if she had, like I said, if she had come to me, she probably would. It would have probably been worse than that if she had come to. Depending on how long it take them to come.
All right. What is the village's position with regards to this?
We'd be amenable to reduction. Does he have a number in mind?
I mean, you've got a $180,000 fine. What do you want it reduced to?
What I want it reduced to?
Yep.
I say nothing.
Okay, he says 0. So there's your reaction.
Okay. Our number would be $37,649.22, payable by 2/8/22.
Huh?
They want $37,000.
I gotta pay $37,000.
You got a $180,000 fine. You want to pay 0. They're saying 37 grand, which is probably 80% off, right? Approximately.
But y'all, I shouldn't have to pay that either. Like I said, I didn't know.
Why didn't we deal with this in 2012 when it was a lot fresher in everyone's mind? Why are you waiting almost a decade to come out here and ask for a reduction?
Like I said, y'all, I don't know about all that stuff. I asked them how many times I came up here. I've come up here on plenty of occasions, and I never was able to get any answers for what I needed to do.
See, here's my problem. This is Christmas time, and the ladies here know that this is the best time to ask me for a reduction because this is when I'm the most generous. But for you, I don't have any proof that you fixed it that day other than you saying so. You let it slide for a decade before you came in here. I assume you're trying to sell this or refinance it, and that's why it's an issue now.
I came up here more than one time. I've come up here on numerous occasions, and like I said, I didn't. When I talked to somebody, I didn't get anything to what I can do until I don't know when it was.
Well,
that they
3 years
told me.
later, you got someone to get it stopped, or it'd be 600,000.
Right, and like I said, and that was somebody from up here. She said something about mitigation. I think it was in 2019. I was going to, or 2020. She said we having mitigations. I said, Miss, I can't come because I was just getting ready to go out of town. It was on, I think it was supposed to be on November the 19th or something like that. There. And I couldn't make that. But if I had known way back earlier, because like every time I came up here, it seemed like everybody was against me, and I didn't know what to do.
Part of the problem too is he didn't appear at the hearing, so that would have been the time to figure out and have these discussions, but he didn't appear.
Yeah, so you did show up for the hearings, and I would love to be able to drop this, but I need a reason to do that. I just can't say, oh, screw them, their fines aren't good anymore, let it have a 0. I can't do that because you haven't given me any proof of anything. You didn't show up at the hearings to contest anything.
Sir, please speak in the microphone. Sir. Sir, can you please stand behind it so you're speaking in the microphone?
I can't hear that good. That's why I'm coming up a little close, so I can hear what you're
So
saying.
we need you to speak in the microphone because it's being recorded.
Okay, but like last month, I came up and the lady got angry with me. I say, look, I filled out a paper to come up here to the hearing, and I didn't hear nothing. She said, well, we don't have your file. So she wrote me a note because I said, y'all have said in the past that I signed these papers and didn't show up. I say, I want to make sure so that I was here so y'all won't do that again. And then I filled out a paper the next day for this hearing. I haven't gotten anything on that yet. So all that stuff there, they are saying, a lot of those hearings, I don't get no notification on them.
You get notification of all of them because I can't have a hearing unless someone posts it or gets a certified letter back.
I understand that, but I didn't get nothing. Like I said, I didn't get a note for this hearing here.
This you requested. This we don't have to send notice. This is a fine mitigation hearing requested
He's
by the
the one that wanted the
respondent.
hearing. You set it up. You don't need a notice.
Right,
You're the one who did it.
But the one for November, when I told them I said I want to come in here, they told me.
See, the problem here, sir, is you have not given me a reason to reduce this, and if I don't reduce it now, I can't reduce it. I can't reduce it again.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You got one shot at this. You want 0, but you can't tell me squat about when it was done. You know, if you would have done this in 2012, maybe you would have had a Home Depot receipt or something. But here I am sitting here 10 years later, and I'm scaring the crap out of these people because they're wanting a reduction after you, and you're not helping out the process here.
I understand what you're saying, but see, like I said, the reason why I came up because the lady called me about a mitigation. But when I talked to the lady on the phone, she said, did you fix the problem? I said, yes, I did. If I hadn't fixed that problem, I said, she would still have a issue here. And I said, I fixed the problem.
This is the email notification
Who
that
is?
was sent to you on November 23rd for tonight's hearing.
Okay, I'm going to look at my phone. And
So,
let me show you this one here. Can I show you something?
sure. Show her first, though.
Okay.
So you got notice.
Well, we sent confirmation. It's not really.
Well, it's not a notice, but it's confirmation that they accepted your request to be heard.
And I came up here. I don't know if you the one who wrote the note. I wasn't even on the register. So that's what I'm saying. You might have sent it to me, but I don't get a lot of things. And the only reason I got this here from her, and the lady got a little mad with me because I was asking for a.
That was me. You wanted a
Okay.
letter
I'm not-
written,
right.
and I told you
And-
that's
and-
not
and-
something
and-
we do, and
right.
you insisted.
And you see that right there?
So you had me do something that we don't normally do.
Right.
Yes, I
But
do.
I'm just saying, and that's
Do
why.
you have
And
the
that's
one from the
but I'm saying that's why I told you to write the note. So if I come up here, y'all won't say I didn't show up.
Okay, you're showing us confirmation of the November 10th hearing.
Right. But they didn't have my paper. They didn't have me on here. Right, 'cause they didn't respond to it. I got it. She sent it to me in my
That's
in an
neither
email.
here nor there, but
She
we
sent
have
it to
that.
me in an email right here, and I told you, I said, look, I say, but y'all saying that I don't show up for the meetings. Sir, I do not. It's not that I don't show up for the meetings. A lot of times, I haven't gotten the one that they sent out for this meeting here. I just came up, 'cause like I said, after they told me
Sir,
I don't show up.
for the violation hearings and the fine assessment hearings, all those documents are sent to you certified mail, return receipt requested. I'm not rehashing my case. You don't claim your mail, and then we post it on your door and we mail it to you regular mail. So I don't know why you don't get your certified mail, your regular mail, or anything
You
posted
can
on
look
your door.
surprised, sir, but I sit there at the desk and sign these orders, and I see all the green cards that they
Right.
have to do for the hearing.
But sir, I've been living at the same address for the longest. And like I said, if you send me a certified letter, then I'll just have to sue the post office because I haven't gotten a certified letter in years. And I know you haven't sent me no certified letter.
They would have been back in
I
2009. They
got
would
them all
have been
back
years.
unclaimed.
I have not gotten those. I have not gotten those. And when I remember, I have not, honestly, Lord, Your Honor, I swore it, I have not gotten those letters. They did
So
not come to
I'm
me.
about to deny your request, and you're going to be stuck with a $180,000 fine.
What can I do? Like I said, I'm sitting up here telling you the truth. I swore in, and I'm telling you the truth.
See, you come here like a decade late to tell me the truth. A decade. It
saying it for
didn't
the
matter
long-
to you for 10 years to come here, but
Your
now
Honor.
you're showing up and you want to pay zero.
Your Honor, I don't know if you were the last one. Last time I came up here to court, I don't know if you were the one I talked to. And
I've been the only guy here since 2009.
Okay, I talked to you then. And when I came up here, when the lady told me, and you told me and the lady, I don't think the lady is still here, the one that was here. You told her, so y'all take care of this here. And the very next day, I came up to the office, and I said, he said for us to take care of it. She said, well, I can't do nothing about it. And what else can I do?
All right, you're just blaming the world. All right, so I'll do you a favor. I'll reduce it by 90% to $18,000 payable by when?
February 8th,
Your Honor.
2022.
By 2/8/22.
Your Honor.
And if you don't pay it by 2/8/22, it goes back to the 180.
Your Honor. Like I said, I can't afford that there. Like I said,
I know,
Listen,
and you've
listen.
given me no good reason. All you're doing now is just eating time.
I'm trying to tell you now. I've been coming up to this office for years.
I do not believe you.
I've been coming up to the office.
I see things in their hands with letters that have been certified that have not been returned. I see emails from them confirming your date for your hearing, and you keep telling me it didn't exist. And then I have to judge your credibility, and I have to weigh the evidence, and what do? I reduced it by 90%. I knocked off $162,000 of your fine, and I'm not doing anything more.
Your Honor, I'm sitting up here. Honestly, I'm telling you the truth.
I've accepted your testimony. I reduced it by 90%. That's all you're getting.
Your Honor, I'm getting railroaded. I'm serious. I appreciate what you're doing there, but honestly, like I said,
I cannot reduce it to zero based upon the testimony you've given.
So why did I get fined?
Why did you get fined? Because for 3 years you did not prove that you fixed it.
Your Honor.
You can't. It's just re-saying these things for the fourth and fifth time doesn't get you anywhere.
What, Special Magistrate, are you trying to sell the property or refinance it? What are you?
No, I'm not. See, that's the thing. I'm not trying to. I'm gonna get out of Roy Palm Beach. Like I said, Roy Palm Beach has been bad to me. I have done it to nobody in Roy Palm Beach, but I have never received those certified letters. And if I can get a copy of them, I'm gonna take them to the post office, and I'm gonna find out why I didn't receive those letters. I've never seen those letters.
She's got them in her hand.
If they had came to me, why would they be in? Why would you have them? They would be in
Because
Because
that's
they
what
return
unclaimed
them.
mail is. We send it to you and you don't go pick it up and then they return it to sender. They don't just hold on to it inevitably forever.
It would have been in my mailbox. I would have had those. If you
So
had
you have to
No,
sign
you would
for
have
that.
had a post office guy tell you that there's a certified letter that you have to go sign for.
But it also doesn't change it was posted to the property as well.
Yes.
So
It
the
doesn't
notices
matter.
were there.
Regular mail.
Right.
I've made my ruling, sir. We're done. We are done.
the only other option he has is to withdraw his request. If he's not trying to do anything, I don't know
Yeah,
why he's
I
trying to
don't
get
know
rid of
why
the
you
lien.
were going forward to this. I told you I was probably, if you withdraw your request right now, then you can try this again later. But right, if you withdraw your request right now, you can try again some other year. But right now, this is all you're going to get. And if you don't pay this and I do this order, you'll never be able to apply for another mitigation. And right now, you're losing. So do you want to lose permanently, or do you want to withdraw this and try to lose later?
Am I gonna get a copy of this paperwork?
Of course you will. Just like you got the last ones.
I get the last one.
Okay.
I-
Done.
I'm-
We're done.
Do you understand what he's telling you, Mr. Kersey?
Yes, and like I said, you gonna give me a copy of those certified letters, because I did not.
I will. Are you withdrawing your request, or
No,
do you
I'm
want
not.
the mitigation
No,
order?
I'm not. I'm not withdrawing. All I'm
Okay,
saying
that's
is I want
fine.
a copy of
You're-
those letters.
So you understand that if you don't pay the $18,000, it goes up to 180, and we never
Yes, I
mitigate it
do.
again.
And when do I
Okay.
have to pay it by?
February 8th.
I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, I've tried to get people who aren't going to pay to withdraw, but if you don't want to, that's you.
I can hear that. I understand. No, because I'm gonna sue the post office because I didn't receive them letters. I don't want to take that chance. So like I said, I've been unfairly done.
And if you withdraw, you will have no order. So there will be nothing that memorializes. There's no denial.
Still got a lien on my property.
No,
but
if,
it's not
if you
gonna be
withdraw,
one
there
of these-
won't be anything to leave.
The lien, he's saying he has a lien on his property. You're
Oh,
correct. The
yes.
lien stays on your property.
Gonna still stay on the lien on there.
Right.
That's correct.
Oh, I'll go through. Find a receipt or ain't no receipt because it's already the work was done. I'm trying to figure out why
Sometimes you can't save people from themselves.
But yo, one more thing here. I'm trying to figure out when did they decide? When was it decided that I did work?
They decided you did the work in 2012 when you got that affidavit.
What affidavit? I wrote the affidavit out.
You know, you can't save everyone. I'm sorry.
The
The
code
request-
inspector did.
What?
The code
The code
enforcement
inspector
officer.
did.
Yeah. Okay.
The code inspector.
The code inspector.
Because work, I believe, this isn't my case, but I believe the work was completed with the ceiling and there was no other further leakage. See, everything was torn out underneath so you could see the leak. And you could see the damage it was causing.
Obviously. So you're not withdrawing your request. Okay. 18,000 by 2822 reverts back to 180,000. Have a lovely evening.
No, I said I'm gonna pay it. I ain't say I was withdrawing.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay the 18,000.
That's what he
That's
said.
what he
ordered.
said.
That's what he
He
said. He
ordered
ordered
it.
that.
Huh?
Yep.
That's
He
fine.
ordered that. You're
He
fine.
ordered it.
That's good. We're good. Next case, please.
16-1634, 1406 Thornridge Lane, Fidel and Marta Torres.
It'll be drafted up either Friday or Monday and then sent out certified mail. You can request those. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay.
Can you state your names for the record, please?
Les Shields, I'm an attorney for Fidel Torres, and this is Fidel Torres.
Thank you.
All right. What's the amount of the fine?
$44,775.
All right, Mr. Shields, I guess you're going to tell us why we should reduce this.
Yes, this is in one way similar to the last case you heard. It's a very confusing case. The village facts don't differ from the owner's facts. In this case, Mr. Torres repaired stucco to his house, replaced some rotten wood on his house with stucco. He did it himself. The code inspector was next door inspecting a house and saw that this repair had been made and that it had been done without a permit. So she told Mr. Torres to get a permit. He got a permit and there was a sheathing inspection, and he was told that it looked good. He was not told that it was denied or that it was it failed inspection. He got 3 different contractors out to look at the work, and all 3 said it was fine. Then the village left a notice on his entry saying that he needed to get the permit extended, which he did because he thought the village would inspect and approve the work. Now it's jump ahead to, that was in 2014 and 2016. Jump ahead to 2021. He wants to sell his house so he can retire. He is in bad health, but he can't due to the village lien. We contacted the village, and they said reopen the permit, so he filed for a permit extension, which was approved. The inspection took place, and it was approved. He did no, you got to understand, he did no work on the stucco. He had no repairs made on the stucco from the time he did the original work in July 2014 to date. He hasn't touched it. It hasn't changed. They never told him that it was denied, it failed. They just kept saying, renew your permit, which he kept doing. He never saw an order assessing fine. He never saw a order finding violation until I showed them to him. After I got them, after he came to me. This was a minor violation. Mr. Torres got contractors out and complied with the only village request that he received, which was to get a permit extension. He believed he was doing what he was supposed to do.
My question is, you got a permit. Have you gotten other permits for things?
Yes, he got the permit.
No, I'm asking him. Have you gotten other permits? Don't you call for inspections?
Well, we call it time now. They came, everything was good. And the guy signed
But why didn't we call for an inspection back in 2016?
That's
I mean,
really
you keep renewing the permits. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but you never do that last step, which is, please give me an inspection so I can be done. I mean, that's my only real question. I mean, keeps permitting, keeps renewing it. Does anyone say, you need to call in for inspection?
No, nobody told me that.
I mean, that's the simple thing. It needs to be done. All right, what's the village's position with regards to this?
I beg your pardon?
I'm asking the village what they're saying.
We would not oppose a reduction. We would agree to reduce it to $9,380.40 payable by 2/8.
All right, what is the petitioner's number, if you want to give me?
0. He'd like to have the fine waived.
Okay,
The less I can get, because
see, a lot of this is self-inflicted. This is like putting a gun to your own head and going boom because you didn't call for an inspection. If you would have called for the inspection, the fine never would have gotten there.
May I say one more thing?
Sure, go right ahead.
The purpose of the code is to improve, preserve, and maintain the buildings and structures of the village. In determining the amount of the fine, the special magistrate considers the gravity of the violation, actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator. The goal is not to generate revenue, but to gain compliance. And he was never out of compliance.
Well, he was out of compliance because he never got a final inspection. And you're just telling me general law. I mean, I will reduce it to $4,475.75 by 2/8/22.
I beg your pardon?
4475.75. Okay.
Sir, you're reducing the $44,000? I can barely hear you, Special Magistrate. I'm sorry.
All right.
He did like 10%. He did 4,475.75 by 2/8/2022.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll be getting an order from you guys?
Eventually. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case is 10-2467, 2536 Glendale Court, John C. Berry and Cheryl Strickland.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay.
Can you say your names for the record?
John Berry.
Cheryl Berry.
Thank you. And Special Magistrate, the fine amount is $97,975.
Okay. Why should the fine be reduced?
I'm just going to throw myself on the sword, to be quite honest with you. I know everybody says that I did not. I don't remember us ever getting a secondary notice. I believe that the village reopened the case. When we went back and looked at it, we had a pool built, I believe, in 2004, 2005. We had the gate put up in 2008. I do a lot of the work myself. I'm a 20-year firefighter. We had two small children. They're grown now. I believe this fine was for the lock gate, the extended height on the lock for the fence. We have small children, or we have children, but they were
They're
small.
no longer small.
They were
Okay.
small at the time. I would have never gone without having a correct lock on that gate. Maybe it got past me. It was 9, 10 years ago. Maybe a reinspection, but there's never been a time when there was not an actual lock on our pool. Not that fireman makes me any better than anybody else, but that is my profession, making sure people are safe. So if it got past me, I accept responsibility. I ask that the fine be reduced to something. This is our first house. We still live in this house. We're not selling the house. We're not refinancing the house. I ask that it just be reduced to something that two working class people who my wife lost her business for COVID, that something that realistically we could pay.
All right. So give me a realistic amount.
$1,500. I mean, it's Christmas time. That's something we could realistically pay. We have a child in Florida State and another one going to college. Your woes are not my woes, and I understand, but
She's a gator. She won't like that.
I'm just being honest.
My daughter just graduated magna cum laude, Florida State. I've got one that's probably going to go to Florida or UF. So they're going to ask for 80% because I know them.
Our number is $39,579.60.
Your number's what?
39.
39 out of 97.
I got that wrong. Hold on.
Yeah,
No,
so
you're right.
that's math wrong.
39,579.60.
Special Magistrate, we were a one-income family at this time. We had a successful business that my wife worked at for 12 years. We lost that during COVID. We have a child in college and another one on their way, $1,000.
Oh, that's not going to be happening. Don't worry. And
This was a lock. Not that the fence wasn't up, not that the gate wasn't there. I believe it just wasn't high enough.
Actually, I don't know what the issue was with the permit, but our code case was the permit expired. So more than likely, when the inspector went out, it failed the inspection because it wasn't right. And then the permit expired, and you have to renew it and get that final inspection. And, you know, whether or not, I mean, I don't know if you didn't renew it because it wasn't fixed or you just didn't renew it. I mean, I don't know.
I know it's,
Well, yeah.
Tide.
Yeah. So the building department typically sends out a first and final notice that your permit's getting ready to expire. And then after it does expire, then it's sent to code and code enforcement writes it. And then it goes through this whole lovely process. So. Oh. Mm. So what Hunter's saying is it expired, and then you guys renewed it, but then it expired again, and then that's where we are.
I think that one's 20.
Okay. I said okay. When did it go to mitigation?
In 2010, so it was a long time ago. Went to mitigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's staring at me? Okay. 2,500 by 2.8. That's more than you'll get anywhere else, believe me. That's
Yes.
97%.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
All right. I have a quadruple here.
Do you just send us something, or
You'll
do
get
we?
an order in the
You'll
mail.
get an order in the mail. And you don't have to pay it till February.
Okay.
Tuesday's good. What do you want?
Thank you, guys. Have a nice holiday.
Thank you.
Too.
Oh. Okay.
Next
Take
case,
them all the
there's
way. Next.
17-0985, 113 Moorgate Circle, Johann Alexander. There's actually 5 of these.
Oh, yeah.
I'll read
First
them all.
thing you're going to do is raise your right hand because I saw you walk in late. Everyone else who wants to testify. Anyone else walk in late? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say I do. He does. What's your name, sir? You're going to spell that.
Roudiny.
Oh, stop. O-I-D.
R as in Robert, O-U. D as in David, I. N as in Nancy, Y. Father, F as in Frank, A. B as in Victor, A. R as in Robert, and D as in David.
Okay. Because they're going to thank me later for that.
Yes, Mr. Special Magistrate, and I'll read all of them into the record at once. So this first case, 17-0985, the fine amount is $1,325. The next case is 17-1780, 113 Moorgate Circle, Johann Alexander. The fine amount in that case is $3,300. 18-1327, 113 Moorgate Circle, Johann Alexander. The fine amount in that case is $875.
Sorry.
19-0048, 113 Moorgate Circle, Johann Alexander. The fine amount in that case is 32,500. And the final one is 20-0850, 113 Moorgate Circle, Johann Alexander. The fine amount is $1,750. And if we could let the code officer read all of her information into the record for each case.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to enter all those documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2 is the previous order assessing fines. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay.
Times 5.
Times 5. What kind of car was it?
I have several cases. I don't know which one we're talking about.
The first one is high grass and weeds and hedges exceed maximum height allowed. Sidewalk and driveway are stained.
Now, there's a disabled unregistered on the second case, and there's a disabled on the fifth case. I was just kind of curious as to what kind of, because I know the street a little bit.
So here is what we're gonna do, because I think we've been having like a communication issue, and then I will explain what is going on and see if we can obviously solve the issue. Because as of the car, it was the first time I spoke to Miss Margaret, there was a Grand Vitara, and then I told her. She told me that the car cannot be there. So I'm like, what can I do? Do I have to remove it, put a tag? She says it can be on the side of the house. So in my mind, if I do that, I'm okay. So I remove the car, put it on the side of the house. That's one of the cases. The other case was the grass. I was trying to do it by myself, but I have some issue with my hand. I could not do the edges. So when I received it, I've been paying a company since then until now. So that's how I solved the issue. The two other cars that they say that I parked on the driveway hasn't been there for more than a day. Because one of them is my sister's car. Obviously, she is a nurse, probably went to I don't know, come from work or something, or left the car there. But she knows better. So it cannot be more than a day, so she removed it. All these cases have been fixed right after. And the other issue where I cannot really understand what's going on was when I asked Margaret, how do I go at it? She says, fix it. But I did not know that after fixing it, I had to call upon inspection. But all of them has been fixed. The proof is I've been receiving letters saying that my house is in good standard, which is a little bit confusing. You have file going on. It's like they keep on giving us like a daily fee while we're receiving letters saying that the house is in good standing, which is kind of.
Well, I don't know anything about the house in good standing letters.
Yes, I've received letters saying that everything is in good standing.
From who?
From
I
who?
have to come back and bring them. Yes.
From who?
Who's sending you the letters?
From the city. I've received letters saying we're good.
Well,
Not,
And I can bring them.
no,
not how code enforcement works. As you say in all of your hearings, the bold letters say call for an inspection when you comply.
see, I'd love to see those letters.
I will go at it and then I'll bring it. Because the last time I came was.
Because that will help you out, and normally I live here, and I don't have a code issue other than my wife was watering one day and violated South Florida water management rules, and I had to pay $35 to the city.
Well, Special Magistrate, possibly he may be confused about the letter saying the house is in good standing because all these cases are in compliance. So he has received an affidavit of compliance for all of them, but that does not mean that their fines are not still due and payable.
Yeah, well, they're still due before the affidavit of compliance, so go ahead.
Again, the last time I came here was kind of the same situation. I had two cars. One of them had a tag, and the other one, I forgot to put the tag on it because it was on my birthday. So I'm pretty sure it was last year, around November. And I received the letter saying, so I could not make the difference. That's why I say it's confusing between this has been fixed and the house is not in good standing. I realized that when we were trying to put solar panel on our house, because they were offering some they were offering, the state was offering something where you can borrow money, fix all these things in your house, and they would go on the, the, the state on your tax. That's when I realized we had this among this huge amount of money that we owe.
Yeah, well, it's not that huge comparatively speaking. Um, so I'm almost curious as to what letters he thinks says he's in good standing. If Margaret's correct, and there are just copies of the affidavits. Did you send him copies?
That's the only thing I would think of. I mean, we only send them
Did you
out
get
once.
copies of the affidavits?
Yeah, because once they're in compliance, we do mail out a copy of the.
Yeah, a copy of the affidavit, but it doesn't excuse you from the fines that have run up until that time. So I don't know whether I want to go forward or you want to go forward without getting me those, because that could help you.
What I'm saying is, it's a little confusing because I really, really did not know that we had to call for the inspection. But one thing that I know, and I'm pretty sure that Margaret here can say it, every time we have something against the house, we fix it. It's not like we're trying to give the Wild City like a hard time. We're definitely trying to comply with the city, and that's why I'm here.
All right.
See if you can.
We're just checking to see if he comes to the hearings, which so far it does not appear he does. So that may be part of his confusion as to what is complied and what is not. Not present at the hearings.
Not present.
Not present.
Not.
So that's part of the confusion, I think.
Yeah.
Two of these we're opposing mitigation. Two of them are very small fine amounts. It's going to cost the village more money to release the liens.
Well, that's the 875 and the
18-1327 we're opposing reduction.
Only one who was present in 2020.
It looks like he was present for one hearing, the 20-0850, the last case.
Okay.
We're amenable to reducing some of these. Most of these are relatively minor monetary amounts, with the exception of one.
Yeah.
So in 17-0985, we'd be willing to reduce it to $600 payable by 2/8.
Which one is that? Okay, you're just going down the list.
I'll just go down the list to make it easier. The second one, 17-1780, reduced to $2,000 by payable by 2/8. As I said, 18-1327 opposed reduction because the fine amount is very minor. 19-0048 is a heftier fine. We'd be willing to reduce it to $6,909.95 payable by 2/8. And the final one, we'd be amenable. That's 20-0850, which he did show up to. We'd be amenable to reducing it to $1,100 payable by 2/8.
All right, that's just their suggestion. So I'm still mulling this over in my mind. Now, how much are you able to pay? Because that's probably a better question right now.
How much I'll be willing?
Yeah, able, not willing. No one's willing.
Able, it's hard, but I've been here for a little bit of time, and I've been watching you. So just take in consideration that I've been trying to work the issues, and then you can give me an offer.
Well, I'm not negotiating with you. I'm just asking, what can you pay to reduce these fines?
What is the
Especially the $32,500 one. They're saying $7,000. What can you realistically
How
pay?
much is it right now?
It's $32,500 is the worst. The rest of them are smaller.
Can I do half?
Can you do what?
Is it 1,500 if it's half of the 13?
No, it's 32,500.
Oh, 32,000.
Yeah, 32,500.
That's what I'm saying. Is there? Oh, I thought it was 3,000.
No.
Because here is the thing: all of this situation has been solved right away.
Yeah, I
The only
understand, but
thing
you don't show up for the hearings until the last one.
Oh.
You don't get the things solved and verified, and that's the problem.
Yes,
And that's why I'm trying to help you along, but you have to give me something to work with, because I going to sit there and do their number if I don't. So I need a number from you that you can pay realistically.
Realistically, by February, if you could help me with 2,500, that will be more than that. Will be a lot
2,500 for
us.
everything. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry.
2,500 for this case?
If we could do it for everything, that will be.
See,
Really,
I don't know that I can do that for everything just because there are so many of them.
But for instance, for example, like it's, let's say someone park on the driveway and it's a repeat violation,
See, well,
that's why I
a
was.
lot of these are disabled unregistered vehicles. You know, parking over the sidewalk is fleeting, but those are issues that are more.
The disabled vehicle, if it was one of the Honda Accord, my sister got into an accident, but it was good.
Okay.
The only vehicle that I had that was like that could not work was the Grand Vitara that I put on the side of the house.
All right. All right, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to reduce case number 19-0048, which is the big one. That's the $32,000. Everyone else is getting 90% off. I'm giving you more. I'm going to give you the $2,500 on that one by 2/8. If you pay that one, you will get most of your liens off. I am going to oppose and deny the lien for 18-1327. That's only $875. The other three you're going to withdraw right now, so you can do these later when you can afford to do them. Okay? Sound good to you? So we're withdrawing 17-985. We're withdrawing 17-1780. And we're withdrawing 20-850 for your record. The 18-1327 for 875 is denied, and the 19-0048 is reduced to a $2,500 payment by 2/8. That way, when you work your way up and you get some more money, you can come back on the others and get them taken care of. It does get rid of the biggie for you. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Next, please.
19-1324, 131 Swan Parkway West, Gary M. and Susan J. Cirillo.
Okay. Well, at least it's going to be a small one, or small, I hope. All right.
I tender the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Ben Stern. Who's Ben? Excuse me. What's your name, ma'am?
My first name is Myra, Myra. Last name Orellanes. Orianes.
Orellanes.
Aanes.
Okay, and what is your relationship to the property?
I'm the operations manager for Realty Wholesalers, which is Ben Stern.
Okay. A more normal one. All right, and what is the amount of the fine, village?
$14,450.
Okay, and Myra, why should the fine be reduced?
We weren't the violators, we were the rectifiers. We purchased the property in foreclosure, so we do understand that we think that the violation was placed prior to. So when we purchased the property in May, we took on the responsibility of curing the violations, which were cured in July. So we're hoping that, with the short time period that it took for our ownership to cure the violation, that you would be a little bit more lenient.
All right, what's the village's number?
We'd be amenable to reducing it to $3,306.44, payable by 2/8/22.
330644.
We're looking more maybe around 1,500.
You're looking at 330644 and you'll be done.
306.
0.44.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next,
If we could go
please.
back to page 2.
Okay.
I think, yeah, this is the fine assessment hearing. It's case 21-0418, 167 Miramar Avenue, Dimitri Demargent and Jeanette Narcisse.
Okay. Number 17.
So I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, permit information.
Okay. Let me see the docs. Let her see some docs. Yes. Everyone needs docs. Oh, you were here last time. Oh, you're getting. She's getting
So
it.
on
Okay.
this case, the permit was issued, but her engineer, she had started work without a permit, and her engineer went out and drew plans of an existing porch and that she's attaching to the existing porch, but the existing porch blew away. So she's not attaching to that. So we're asking for additional time so that the inspector, because she got a permit, but what she got a permit for wasn't really what she's doing.
Okay, so we're
It's a
going
little
to give
bit
her more
different.
time.
Yeah, can we get her name and can we get the exhibits in?
Sure.
What's her name?
Jeanette Narcisse.
Thank you. Can you look through those documents? Those are the village's exhibits that we'd like to enter into evidence and let us know if you have any objection to those.
Okay.
The notice of violation, the notice of hearing, and the permit information.
There's nothing evil there. All right.
So we, like Linda said, we're asking to continue this to require compliance by 128.
How about 21839? Give us more time. Yeah, 21839, and that gives her more time to get it all straightened out.
21839. That's good. Yeah, because she might need an engineer's letter.
Yeah, and you know, she shows up to hearings, she gets things done, at least she tries. So, you get some more time. This is when I can actually do things for people. So yeah, just make sure you keep up on them.
So let me know what's good for you and we'll set up a time next week. Okay.
Yeah, just stay on top of these people.
Linda.
All right.
Okay, now special magistrate going back to page 9.
Mr. Yep.
The bottom case 09-1191 104 Madrid Street, Robert C. Chesney.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay.
Your name for the record, sir? Sir? Your name?
Robert DeKinney.
Thank you, sir. Special magistrate, the fine amount in this case is $2,800.
All right, Mr. McKinney, why should the fine be reduced?
Welcome back again. Yeah.
I said, why should the fine be reduced?
Excuse me?
Why should the fine be reduced?
Well, the car is a senior citizen, and I'm a senior citizen, so I don't see any reason to be holding out on it. The car is 31 years old, and I still feel that I complied with your order.
Okay. So, as I get older, my short-term memory gets worse. But, you know, for some reason I retain long-term memory, which is really weird. Because I can remember a song from 40 years ago, verse by verse, but I can't tell you what I listened to yesterday. You have a BMW.
You remember it quite clearly.
You had a BMW, and you told me at one time, this is my property. You can't do anything with it. You're from Jamaica. You're on the right-hand side of the road as you go over to the park. It's all just clear as a freaking bell. You were very mad. kind of pissed off. You're like, oh, this is my property. I have these property rights, and you stormed out of here.
I
So
did
what does the village say?
I did comply with your orders.
You did 2 years later, but it's all good.
We'd be willing to reduce it to $1,013.68 by 2/8/22.
And I'll reduce it to 750 by 2/8 because I'm a bigger person.
Well, that's just about what it's worth. So
Yeah,
I'll have to accept it.
It's like, I have the oldies too, but I just keep one of mine in the garage. It always has a tag on it. Classic car insurance. It
The
costs
car had
nothing.
insurance, Your Honor. The car had insurance.
It
I
was
just took it. I didn't register it because the gas prices went up to $5 a gallon.
And they're back down again. All right, 750 by 2/8, and I'll sign that later.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. Have a good night, and thank
You
you
too.
very much.
Now we're on page 10.
10.
We have 4 of them. I'll read them all into the record at once. 07-0978 1240 Carousel Way, Wendy Mason. The fine amount in this case is $76,250. Case 09-1116 1240 Carousel Way, Wendy Mason. The fine amount in this case is $103,925. 14-1131 1240 Carousel Way, Wendy Mason. The fine amount is $116,200. And 21-0283 1240 Carousel Way, Wendy Mason. The fine amount is $850.
All right, Miss Mason. Why
On
can't-
all
Go
of these
ahead.
cases, I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order requesting fine mitigation. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, the affidavits of compliance.
Okay.
Are you Miss Mason? Can you state your name? Thank you.
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Okay. Why should the fines be reduced?
I feel that the origins of this fine were based on nothing that I did incorrectly or intentionally. I went to the village back when this began because I wanted to put a fence up around my backyard. I'm a single mother of 4 girls, and my yard was the only yard that was not fenced on the lake that I live in. So people were constantly cutting through the yard and sometimes looking in my daughter's windows and things. So I needed a fence, but I couldn't afford a fence. So I saved my money, as long as I could. I've worked 2 to 5 jobs at a time ever since my husband left. And then I took my income tax money and I went down to the village and I told them I wanted to do owner-builder because I could not afford to pay someone to put up a fence. I asked every question that I knew to ask. I was directed to take, at the time they had little bins up on the wall with numbers on them. And the woman who was very short with me and kind of acted like I was troubling her directed me to take a certain number of papers off of the wall, number 9, number 12, so on and so on. I got the papers. I went back up to her. I told her, I even showed her a picture of the fence that I wanted to build along the back end, the lake side of my property. I was going to put a privacy fence around the sides and the front, and the back, a lower fence, a 4-foot fence, like one of my neighbors had across the lake. It looked aesthetic. It was kind of rustic looking, but secure, and it wasn't a chain link fence. So I showed her a picture of that, explained what I wanted to do. Showed her the papers. I said, do I have everything? I had everything. Went home. I took all the money that I had and built the fence. I had friends come over and help put the fence up. And then when the code inspector came out, she said, you have to pull it down. She said, this is not to code. And I said, I followed all of the instructions. And she said it had to be out of some type of galvanized fencing. And I said, it's nowhere in the paperwork. It was on a page that I was not directed to get. Should I have been able to look up the codes? I'm sure that I could, but I didn't know enough to do it. So that's where the whole fine started. I went to the village. I talked to the village manager back when this all started. I explained what was going on. He said that she never would have directed me. she wouldn't have not given me that paperwork or directed me to take the paperwork. It was my word against hers, and there's no fighting any of that. So he told me that there would be a lien placed against my home, and as soon as I could get the fence put up to code, the lien would be removed from my property. I told him I didn't know when I'd be able to do it. I said I worked many jobs at a time just to take care of my family. So I think it was 2016 when my mother passed away. She left a little bit of money, and I was able to pay someone to go and put the fence up. They pulled a permit, they put up a fence to code, and I thought it was finished, to tell you the truth. And I know that I've received certified letters over the years, but to tell you the truth, a lot of them I couldn't even open. I was too frightened because I had no money to fix any of it. I had no one to help me, that's knowledgeable about those things. And I only found out about this last year when I went to take out a home equity loan to fix some of the things on my home. And I found out about the lien, and I came in and I was told how much they were, and I went outside and got sick. But I really don't know. I don't know what to ask you for other than just your mercy and whatever you can do on my behalf.
Going back into my memory banks, wasn't this some sort of rustic chicken wiry kind of fence that you were trying to put on the back?
Yeah, it had.
It was kind of like out of the acreage and that kind of crap, and they said no when you came here and you were all mad too. I kind of remember this showing up.
I don't know if we ever talked about the fencing part of
Oh,
it, but
yeah.
yes, it was exactly what that was.
Because I wouldn't remember it if we didn't talk about it. I don't do clairvoyance.
Yeah, there was a house directly across the lake from me that had the same type fencing, and
It was
like I said, I showed
probably
a picture, but
unapproved or.
it was grandfathered in. She told me
it was grandfathered
before.
in. So yeah, here's the problem. They're going to turn around and they're going to tell me that they want $60,000 or more, and there's no way you're going to pay that because you can't. And I don't know that I can turn around and reduce it to nothing because you kind of let it go, and you were kind of angry at the hearing, I believe, when you told me about this and you didn't get your way with your fence, and you stormed out
recently?
a bit. What?
Was that recently?
That's like 2009. That's why it's the same time frame as the guy on Madrid. I mean, I don't remember last week's lunches, but I remember this stuff like it was yesterday. It's just amazing.
I'm afraid it's been a little bit too traumatic to me to remember exactly.
So I'm looking at basically $300,000 in fines. And I don't know, what's the village's position? So I've got to go through this.
Yeah, so in the first case, we'd be amenable to reducing it. That's 07-0978 to $15,624.94. 09-1116, reduction to $21,258.77. Payable by 2/8. First case also payable by 2/8. Case 14-1131, $23,605.92. Payable by 2/8. And then 21-0283 would be opposing reduction because the fine amount is so low.
Yeah. So there's their position. And I was right. It's going to be around 60. It's actually right around 60 out of the 300. And I'd like to do something for you, but I don't know that I can. I mean, what are you proposing at all? I mean,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, what are you proposing? I mean, you've got $300,000 in fines. You know, you were mad last time. You didn't want to deal with the village. Now you got to deal with the village. So what can you do? I mean, if it's not zero, what can you do?
What can I do?
Yeah.
I've been praying it's not more than I could take a second mortgage out of my home for. I know how great the fine is, so
do I do, folks?
Are you trying to sell or refinance?
It's going to be my home forever.
Well,
Me,
this is why you
you're
pay
the
me the big bucks here?
magistrate. I'm sorry?
This is why you pay me the big bucks here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, so a lot of this was self-inflicted. I mean, you know, you get mad at people, you like don't want to do what they want you to do, go through all this stuff, you didn't get it taken care of quickly. So what I'm going to do is, and I can't ignore the sequence of fines 07, 09, 14. On 07, 978, I'm going to reduce it to $5,000 by May 1st. On 09, 11, 16, I'm going to reduce it to $5,000 by May 1st. And on 14, 11, 31, I'm going to reduce it to $5,000 by May 1st. That's $15,000, which is maybe 5% of what you dug yourself into. I'm going to deny the reduction for 21-283 because it's $850 and it's going to cost them that just to do anything with it. So if you can get your house refinanced by the beginning of May, you can pay these off.
And how much is it total?
$15,000.
I appreciate that. I'll be able to do that by May.
Yeah, and I kind of remember another part of this is because one of my pet peeves is pools and things need to be clean. So, but I'll do that. And that's all I can do. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Back to the beginning?
Back to the beginning. Case number 21-469.
Yes, sir. This is a status/fine assessment hearing. 21-0417 570 Christina Drive, PP Park Air Property Owner LLC.
Like to enter the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3 is 400 permit information.
All right. Give me a second. I'm readjusting my life here.
There's no picture.
I think I put your dates on the first case when it was on the third case. That's okay. All right, so 570. Christina. All right, so what do you want to do with this? Sign without approval? Is that it?
This, your previous order required compliance by yesterday, so we'd be asking for a fine to start. That'd be a $50 a day and continuing.
50 plus continuing is granted. They hired a lawyer last time. Come on.
Yeah, they didn't submit to make the TSR agenda, so, and they're not here tonight, which is surprising. But anyways, okay. Next case is 21-0469 1094 Concert Way, Gene R. Cesar.
Like to enter the following documents and evidence. Previous order finding by previous order granting continuous and setting fine assessment hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS 400 permit information, and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, so what is this, the finding of fact?
No, we're asking for no fine in order to
No fine order is granted.
Thank you.
Now we're at fine assessment hearings, top of page 2, third one down, 21-0583 1371 Denlow Lane, SWH 2017 borrower LP.
They still have the kennel in the backyard.
They do.
They do. I remember that case.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, permit information. And Exhibit 4, pictures.
You stretched that number 3 out again. Oh no, she stretched it out, now she's switching it. Oh no. It's all good? No switchies? Alright, you have service via track and confirm.
This one's been out of compliance for 10 days, so we're asking for a fine of $250 and continuing.
250 plus continuing is granted.
21-0685 is being pulled. 21-0707, 1482 Ryan Lane, Joy M. Adkins.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
You get your exercise, huh? You can give me a whole stack of them. No, you can have all of these. I have scratch paper on my computer. My children never use it anymore. Everything's on the computer and TI calculators and stuff. Signed green card equals service. You had signed green card on the prior case, and the prior case before that, COVID green card.
And
Okay.
again, on this one, it's been out of compliance for 10 days, so 250 and continuing.
250 is continuing is granted.
21-0731 is being pulled. 21-0607, 146 Sparrow Drive, Calvin and Jason Bentley.
I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information.
Okay. COVID signed green cards. You're going to miss them when they're gone. You have service, what would you like?
What is that? Those are the next cases. Oh, sorry.
We're doing Bentley? I've got a Bentley. No. No, I got FYR.
Yes, the next 4 cases.
Not a problem. All right, so you have a signed green card for the Bentleys.
Again, it's out for 10 days, so 250 and continuing.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-0822, 200 Cordova Circle, FYR SFR Borrower LLC.
I'd like to
Following. You'd like to enter the following?
I'd like to do something. I'd like to enter those following documents of evidence, please. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Oh, someone actually signed a green card in cursive writing and printed their name. Okay. You have service. What do you want?
Again, it's been out for 10 days, so 250 and continuing.
250 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
21-0842, 252 La Mancha Avenue, Sunshine Builders Group LLC.
Again, I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence, please. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
I guess you could call this cursive in some light. You have a signed green card.
Yeah, it's right my way.
Again, it's been out for 10 days, so 250 and continuing.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-0850, 132 Santander Court, FKH SFR C1 LP.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information.
You got double service on this case.
Yeah.
You really, really wanted service. What do you want?
Again, it's been out for 10 days, so 250 and continuing.
250 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
BTR hearings, 21-1019, 1027 Okeechobee Boulevard, Boulder Venture Employees 1.
Is this the Chevron or what? 7-Eleven, okay.
Yeah, we can do all 3 at once. Next is 21-1020 10274 Okeechobee Boulevard, Boulder Venture Employees 1, and 21-1021 10274 Okeechobee Boulevard, Boulder Venture Employees 1.
Okay,
Merchant
so
Retail.
the Boulder Venture Employees 1 has signed 3 green cards for these 3 cases. You have service on all.
Okay. So the code section 16.1A and 16.9, Village of Royal Palm Beach, business tax receipt expired for 2019. It's propane.
Gotcha.
For 2020, it's for the service station. And for 2021, it's actually for the convenience store.
Okay. So
This
it's
violation was mailed certified mail on 11/5/21 and signed on 11/9/21. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, business tax receipt information, and Exhibit 3, verification of ownership.
Okay. You have service. We can proceed on all.
So on 21-1019, we'd be asking for 125. That's a $100 license fee plus 25% penalty, plus 250 administrative fee plus $250 penalties for a total of 625 payable by 1/8/22.
Granted.
In 21-1020, it's $200 license fee plus 25%, so 250 plus
250 plus
250, so it's
750.
750 by 1/8/21. And in 21
22.
Excuse me, 22. Thank you. 21-1021, it's going to reflect the license fee because we don't know the amount, plus 25% penalty, plus 250 administration, plus 250 penalty, payable by 1/8/22.
Granted.
And if I could correct the record and just clarify on the first BTR case, I don't think I said the date. That's also a 1/8/22 payment requirement.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming it's 22, but.
Thank you, sir. Next is violation hearings, page 4, 21-0645, 244 La Mancha Avenue, Diana Y. and Jeffrey Valentin.
See, this is when I'm just sitting next to Lou. And we go, car or truck?
Which one? Code section 2318B, prohibited vehicle. Observe this violation on 7/30/21. Sent out notice of violation 8/8/4/21. It was delivered on 9/1/21. Sent out notice of hearing on 10/27/21. Posted it to the property. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures.
All right. Once again, a double service case, but where's the picture? What kind of vehicle are we talking about?
It's a car hauler trailer.
Okay. There we go.
Very long, is prohibited. There it is again. They're trying to conceal it behind the fence, but it's there.
It's a big car
trailer,
hauling
trailer,
so.
trailer. Prohibited one at that.
Okay. So when do they get to go?
Compliance by 12/30, or the January 12th fine assessment hearing, or $25 day fine.
12/31/12/25 granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
21-0871, 137 Ider Court, Bobby J. Sample.
Code sections 12(4)C and 0619813. Garbage can in public view in the driveway is stained. I observed this violation on 10/1/21. Sent out notice of violation on 10/5/21, and it was returned on 10/7/21. Sent out notice of hearing. Certified mail on 10/27/21, and it was delivered on 10/29/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures.
Okay. All right. I see a garbage can in front of
Yes,
the
in
Jeep.
front of the Jeep.
Yep. Okay. 128.
Yes, 128 or the 2/9 fine hearing, or $25 day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-0879, 123 Ider Court, Sweetland and Victor Monaharan.
Code sections 2657, a canopy without a permit. I observed this violation on 10/1/21. Sent out notice of violation on 10/5/21, and I spoke with the property manager on 10/11/21. I sent out notice of hearing, certified mail on 11/1/21, and I spoke with the manager again on 11/8/21, as well as the owners of the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, AS 400 permit information. Exhibit 5, pictures.
All right. You have a swirly purported signature on your green card, so you have service.
Again, we're asking for compliance by 128 or the 2/9 fine hearing, or $25 day
I
fine.
just need to see a picture. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Right there. Okay.
Thank you.
12829.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Granted. 25.
21-0928, 127 Dove Circle, SWH 2017, 1 borrower LP.
Code section 06190A135, sidewalk and driveway are stained. I observed this violation on 10/19/21. Sent out notice of hearing and notice of violation on 10/22/21, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Well, at least Katie Kelly has a nice stamp for her green card, so you do have service. What would you like?
Compliance by 128 or the 29 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-0936 is being pulled. 21-0948, 218 Sparrow Drive, number 4, Luz Fernandez and Martha A. Nunez.
Oh, that one's being pulled. Sorry. Code section is 622-105.5. Permit for the AC changeout has expired. Observe this violation on 10/21/21. Send out notice of violation on 10/22/21. It was delivered on 10/25/21. Send out notice of hearing on 11/5/21. It was delivered 11/8/21. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, ES400 permit information.
Okay, so you pulled the shots, the case before that.
Yes, 21-0936.
Just gave me the package.
Oh,
Messed
I
up
gave
my
you
whole
it too.
order here, but that's okay because I
I'm
haven't pulled
sorry.
and signed green cards for Luz Fernandez and Marta Nunez. So you have them, and that's also 128, 29?
128, 29, or 25, yes, sir.
Granted.
21-0949, 174 Bilbao Street, Armando C. and Cheryl L. Rubalcava.
Code section 622-105.5. Permit for electric is expired. Observe this violation on 10/21/21. Send out notice of violation certified mail on 10/22/21, and it was delivered on 10/28/21. Send out notice of hearing certified mail on 11/3/21, and it was signed for on 11/8/21. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, ES400 permit information.
All right, so you have a signed green card.
Again, compliance by 128 or 29 or $25 day fine.
Wish I had a stamp. It'd be so much easier. Granted.
Thank you.
21-0950, 10593 Bobby Lane, Frederick C. Bamber.
Code section 622-105.5. Permit for AC changeout is expired. Observe this violation on 10/21/21. Send out notice of violation certified mail on 10/22/21. It was signed for on 10/26/21. Send out notice of hearing certified mail on 11/3/21. It was delivered on 11/16/21. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Signed green card equals service. 128, 29, 25 is granted.
Thank you.
21-0953, 217 Parkwood Drive, Julie A. Curiel.
Code section 622-105.5 9-1. Fence permit is expired. This violation was observed on 10/21/21. Sent out notice of violation certified mail on 10/22/21. It was signed for on 10/26/21. Sent out notice of hearing on 11/3/21. It was received on 11/16/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, AS100 permit information.
Okay, you have a signed green card. What would you like here?
Again, compliance by 128 or 29 or $25 day fine.
Granted.
21-0981 is being pulled.
That's the next one. I gave you a copy of it. You can skip over that one.
Thank you. Don't
The
confuse
next
the old
one,
guy.
top of page 6, is being pulled. 21-0989.
Pull that one too.
Okay, Lennar.
21-0995, 170 Adele Avenue, Lennar Homes LLC.
Doesn't Lennar have people for this? They have someone with a very squirrely signature.
Adele. Okay. Code section 622-105.5. Permit for entry fence is expired, and this is for permit 18/30/13. This was observed on 10/25/21. Sent out notice of violation on 10/27/21. Got the green card back. Sent out notice of hearing on 11/3/21. And it was signed for on 11/9/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4A is 400 permit information.
All right, 2 signed green cards, so you can go. What would you like on this one?
Compliance by 128 or 29 or $25 day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-0996, 170 Adele Avenue, Lennar Homes, LLC.
Deja vu.
Again, this is for Code Section 622, 105.5, permit for an entry feature and electric is expired. And this is for permit number 19-0672, different entry feature, and this includes electric. This was observed on 10/25/21. It was sent out notice a violation certified mail on 10/27/21, and it was signed for on 10/29/21. Notice of hearing was sent certified mail on 11/3/21, and it was signed for on 11/9/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, A is 400 permit information.
So the same guy signed the green card, so you do have service again.
Again, compliance by 128 or the 2-9 fine hearing or $25 day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-066, 21-0998, 10638 Misty Lane, Eric Robinson.
Code section is 622-108.4. Permit for offense is expired. And code section 9-1 as well, please. Observe this violation on 10/21/21. Send out notice of violation certified mail on 10/22/21. It was delivered on 10/29/21. Send out notice of hearing on 11/5/21. That was delivered on 11/8/21. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4 is for under permit information.
All right, you have an initial green card, so you have service, and I take it that.
Restate the code section. I think you said 108.4, but I think you meant 105.5.
Oh, yes. Code section on that is 622, 105.5, and 9-1. Permit for fence is expired.
I take it the building department has flushed their permits to you.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I can tell.
We have some more.
This is compliance by 128 or 2-9 or $25 day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-0669, 11440 Okeechobee Boulevard, CS Property Holdings, LLC.
Okay.
Bye, Margaret. Thank you.
The code section is 1557.95, 15.141.942, and 15.133G. Grass and weeds exceed height allowed. Trees unhealthy and need to be trimmed. Hedges need to be trimmed. And the trees are unhealthy. They're actually dying now.
You mean the bonsai? It looks like a bonsai. Yeah, this is that office building, I think.
So I would like to enter the following document, or this violation was sent certified mail on 8/13/2021, and it was returned not dated. Notice of hearing went 11/16/2021, and it was signed on 11/18/2021. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, pictures.
Building went for 1.79 million in 2001 and went for 2.2 in 2019. Not a lot of appreciation there. Okay, you have signed green cards. What do you like?
Compliance by 12/27 or the 1/12/2022 fine assessment hearing or $50 day fine.
I like this. It's keeping me interested. Okay, 12/27, 1/12/50.
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you. 21-0676 is being pulled. 21-0675, 10719 Southern Boulevard. SST 2100719 Southern Boulevard, LLC, PTA EX number 8665.
That's sort of a personal name.
The code section's 1557, 1558, And 15132, lakes behind the buildings are not being maintained. Aquatic vegetation is not being maintained to water's edge. Or, the aquatic vegetation is not being maintained, and the vegetation is not being maintained to the water's edge.
Gotcha.
Thank you. This violation was sent certified mail on 8/17/21, and it was signed for on 8/20/21. Notice of hearing went certified mail on 11/10/21, and it was signed for on 11/15/21. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, so you have a signed green card. You do have service. And it's now in the dryish season. I like how they go back one. Southern Boulevard.
Southern, that's a unique spelling.
Oh.
Oh. Now you can go on. The weeds or the water's down now enough that you can weed eat it.
I spell the SUTHERN. You know,
Southern.
yeah. I know how to spell Southern.
All right, is this a 1227?
I have no excuse
No,
for that.
compliance by 128 or 29, fine hearing or $25 day fine.
Granted.
Good eye, Doug.
21-0677 is being pulled. 21-0739, 417 Las Palmas Street, John and Dawn Hartman.
John and Dawn. Too cute. USPS tracking confirmed. Go ahead.
Code section 622-105.5 and 9.1. Building permit number 2030-100 for fences expired. This violation was sent 8/20/21, and we have the USPS tracking confirmed. Notice of hearing was mailed 11/18/2021, and it was returned signed on 11/20/21. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, and Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, permit information.
Okay, I'm just trying to decide whether John or Dawn signed it because it's incomprehensible, but you have service.
Compliance by 128 or 29 or $25 a day.
12829 granted 25.
Thank you. 21-0755 is being pulled. 21-0958, 111 West Saratoga Boulevard, Eugene and Max, Saintville.
The code section 622-105.5. The description electrical permit number 183137 is expired. This violation was written on 10/21/2021. It was sent certified mail 10/22/21. It was returned not dated. Notice of hearing went out 11/18/21, and it was returned and not dated. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
Okay, so joys of COVID and certified mail. All right, what do you want with 21-958?
Compliance by 128 or 29, fine hearing or $25 day fine.
Granted.
21-0959, 111 West Saratoga Boulevard, Eugene and Max, Saintville.
Okay. AC changeout. Okay.
Code section 622-105.5. The description electrical permit number 183137 is expired. This violation also was written on 10/21/21. It was signed for, or it was returned and not dated.
Good returns. That'd be great.
Notice of hearing went out 11/18/21, and it was signed and not dated. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, and Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, permit information.
Okay.
I do have a correction. On the case before, the permit number was 183136.
It's in the agenda. 3136, and the next case is 3137, permit number, that is. All right. Which one are we on now?
0959.
0959. Gotcha. Sunville 2. All right, that was 128, 29, 25.
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to.
Yes.
128.29 or $25 day fine.
Good. Now we're up to the Vegas.
21-0962 is being removed.
Okay.
21-0967 is being removed.
Okay.
And then give us a moment.
The Thibodeaux.
So pull. Okay, 21-0968 is being pulled. 21-0973 is being pulled.
Okay.
21-0984 is being pulled. 21-0990-10201 Penzance Lane, Luis E. and Arelis M. Besterio.
Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
Okay. We're just left with a friendlies picture. All right, you have a signed COVID green card. What would you like?
Wrong. Compliance by 128 or 29 or $25 day fine.
Granted.
Granted? Is that what you said?
Granted.
Thank you, sir. 21-1010 is being pulled. And I believe that concludes
That includes our.
our agenda.
And someone better talk to the building department at the holiday party.
Why?
We would have been out of here an hour earlier if not for them.
Oh.
I mean, truly.
Here, you can have that. Sorry, I just tried to clear space. Yeah, it should do that, yeah. It wouldn't do it? Oh, I don't know about that.
Please let the record reflect that I signed the previous minutes. Anything else to be brought before the board?
No, sir.
We are adjourned.